Okay, I wanted to say thank you. I just surpassed 1.3 million subscribers. Thank you all very, very much. And at every 100,000 milestone, I talk about a collection. And today I'm going to talk about all the anvils I have. I'm going to start with what is not exactly an anvil. I've had these two steel chunks since about the age of 15. I worked for a woman, and part of what I did for her was make these signs, and I cut them out on the bandsaw. And she gave me these two steel bricks as weights to glue and laminate the sign material together. It was plexiglass on top of wood. These are the weights she used to weigh down the plastic to the wood. And you've seen me use them in videos since probably my first video. I use them all the time as stoppers. I use them as anvils, a lot of time for brass. I use them for heat sinks. These are sort of sentimental to me now, but I just happen to love these, and you see me use them all the time. I always tell people, if you leave anything at my shop, it's going to become destroyed. Everything around me begins to rust and sweat and turn old. And Pat Lapp gave me this about a year ago, and it already looks very old. Look at the rust on the top. What happens in here, it gets hot, and then it gets cold, and then it gets hot, and then everything steel starts to sweat. This is about a year old. Pat Lapp made me this. I'm going to put Pat's channel below. I'll show you all my little tiny anvils now. I don't know where I got this anvil from. I must have got it at a garage sale, but it's almost the same exact shape as this one. And this is another little garage sale anvil. I think that's kind of cute. Now this one I just happened to find in my apartment in New York last night. This is a little anvil made in brass. Jeweler's anvil, I suppose. But these are all my little tiny anvils. That's my little tiny anvil collection. All right, this is a beautiful little anvil I got from Scott Turner from Australia. Form Me Industries. I'll link the video below where he actually makes this. Scott, thank you very much for my tiniest of all anvils. All right, I'm going to step it up to my smaller but medium smaller size anvil collection. And I grabbed these again at flea markets. I got this at an antique shop nearby. It was 20 bucks. Something cool about the shape of that. In the comment section, I'm sure most of you could probably tell me more about this than I can tell you more about, because I don't really know. I just see something cool and I buy it. There's another little anvil I got at a flea market in Pennsylvania. And then this one I got at another place up here. Top was destroyed, and I surfaced it on the milling machine. This top was pretty destroyed, and I was able to surface that whole top on that. All right, I'll take you over to what we have as our temporary blacksmithing section. I'll show you some bigger anvils. Come with me. Okay, aside from the steel bricks I started with, this is actually the very first anvil I ever bought, proper anvil. I got this on Craigslist. And when we were going to do the show Hammered, I did a TV show called Hammered in 2005 is when we first started, and went from 2006 and 7. But we wanted some set dressing, so I went on Craigslist and I looked for an anvil. And this was $100. I bought this in Canarsie, Brooklyn. It was before the big anvil craze. And it's a Vulcan, which isn't the best quality anvil, I've come to find out. And then a few years later, I was driving through Maryland, and I found this baby Vulcan. But the whole top was destroyed, and I ended up redoing this in a video with the non-hardened steel top because I didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I fake it well. I did a pretty gnarly weld under here, which I've been meaning to get in there and grind. But anyway, I use this a lot for brass. I do a lot of brass work, of course, and this is perfect for that. I just keep this on my desk. Okay, what we have here, this is a North German double horn. I bought this from Andrew from Blacksmith Tools on Instagram. Check him out if you need anything blacksmith related. He's got it all. And this was fairly expensive with shipping and everything else. It also happens to be a quality anvil. I wanted an anvil similar to the one that Dirty Smith uses that has the flat with the taper here. So from watching Rory inspired me to buy this anvil. It's got good rebound. This is a 300-pound anvil. I don't know the brand, if anybody can identify it. I bought this from a couple of antique dealers up here, and it is from a railway yard, a factory that made railway cars up here in upstate New York. And they had it for about 15 years. Speaking of railway yards, I bought this at the flea market. It was 20 bucks. Just goes to show you When somebody needs an anvil, they'll make it out of whatever's around. And railroad track is very hard. It's really, 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 really hard in steel. So somebody to cut this really put a lot of time and energy into this. I would assume that they were going to cut this and then spend time grinding it, but they didn't get that far. It's got great return. This is a swage block I got from Andrew at Blacksmith Tools. I wanted one to be in the shop for that very rare moment when you need it and you don't have it. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I'm really glad I got this one. It's got a lot of options and it's got great return. This anvil, I've asked a lot of people, maybe somebody could comment and let me know. A lot of people think this is from the 1700s. I have a friend that goes to a lot of auctions nearby. I told him any blacksmith stuff, grab it for me. He bid on this and he won this for 125 bucks. It's very heavy, 125, Brit weighted, it weighs 125 pounds. It looks like an old British man whistling, doesn't it? He's like, oh yes, I got good return. I got very good return. This is the last anvil I bought. I bought this at a garage sale up here in Greene County. Paid 50 bucks for it, but look at the top. I don't know what this thing was abused with or for or how, but it's pretty beat up. I'm going to try and use my shell mill to clean that up. Just give me a project to work on the mill. It's got great return. This isn't quite an anvil, but I use it a lot to bang on. This is a big hockey puck of steel that we get at the steel place. They have a drop room and they sell steel like 50 cents a pound. And they have these big hockey pucks. We grabbed a bunch of them just to have laying around, and they're really great. I mean, if you don't have an anvil, go down to the metal place and see what they got for drops. And I use this mostly to slam and print my ice picks, and I'll show you how I do that. This is my touch mark made by Buckeye Engraving, and I made this little guide for it, and I have a piece of brass in there. This is my Alex steel hammer. Give it a whackaroo. And I end up with the logo on there. And that's how I do the ice picks these days, and I use this station for it. Works the best for me. This is everything in the big shop. We're going to go over to my machine shop. I'll show you what I got over there. I think we only have one anvil over there, right? I'll show you the one anvil I have over there, and then we'll finish up. Alright, this is the second anvil I ever bought. I bought this because I had the other anvil down in the city, the very first one I ever bought, which was the Vulcan. And then I saw this at a garage sale up here. I bought this for 150 bucks. It's a Fisher Norris. It works really nicely. And I keep it in the garage here. But now since I have the big warehouse shop, everything over there gets used much more often than this. But this is here in case I need it. And when I finally set up my blacksmith shop, it's all going to get put together in one spot. I wanted to show this off too. This is really meant to go in like a bench peg, but this is for sheet metal. I have two of these. I bought them both at garage sales. Paid about 40 bucks each for them. I actually have three of these. I have three of these. I don't even know where they are, but I have three of these. Anyway.
One's in the big anvil right now, and the other one's on the wall.
Okay, and then this one's here. Right. So I have three of these. Thank you for following along. I will see you at the next collection. Wrenches? Probably wrenches. At 1.4. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. See you soon.